Hello everyone and welcome back to QuicksaveTV, your #1 source for Skyrim coverage on YouTube. Today, in this new episode of Lore series, Khajiit is going to... What are you doing? I'm trying to read a book here. Khajiit is going to read us the Brief History of Empire, Part 2. Now that we're done with this little nuisance, let's go ahead and open the book. Yes, it's right here. Beautiful, a little bit old, but still readable. A Brief History of the Empire, Part 2. Volume 1 of this series described in brief the lives of the first 8 emperors of the Septim dynasty, beginning with the glorious Tiber Septim and ending with his great-great-great-great-grandniece Kintira II. Kintira's murder in Glenpoint while in captivity is considered by some to be the end of the pure strain of Septim blood in the imperial family. Certainly, it marks the end of something significant. Uriel III not only proclaimed himself Emperor of Tamriel, but also Uriel Septim III, taking the eminent surname as a title. In truth, his surname was Mantiarco from his father's line. In time, Uriel III was deposed and his crimes revealed. But the tradition of taking the name Septim as a title for the Emperor of Tamriel did not die with him. For 6 years, the War of the Red Diamond, which takes its names from the Septim's family's famous badge, tore the empire apart. The combatants were the 3 surviving children of Pelagius II, Potema, Sepphoros, and Magnus, and their various offsprings. Potema, of course, supported her son, Uriel III, and had the combined support of all of Skyrim and of Northern Morrowind. With the efforts of Sepphoros and Magnus, however, the provinces of High Rock turned cold. The provinces of Hammerfell, Somerset Isle, Valenwood, Elsewhere, and Black Marsh were divided in their loyalty, but most kings supported Sepphoros and Magnus. In 127th, Uriel III was captured at the Battle of Ishidag in Hammerfell. En route to his trial in the imperial city, a mob overtook his prisoner's carriage and burned him alive with it. His captor and uncle continued on to the imperial city, and by common acclaim was proclaimed Sepphoros I, Emperor of Tamriel. Sepphoros' reign was marked by nothing but war. By all accounts, he was a kind and intelligent man, but what Tamriel needed was a great warrior, and he, fortunately, was that. It took an additional 10 years for constant war for him to defeat his sister Potema, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude, who died in the siege of her city-state in the year 137. Sepphoros survived his sister by only 3 years. He never had time during the war years to marry, so it was his brother, the 4th child of Pelagius II, who assumed the throne. The Emperor Magnus was already elderly when he took up the imperial diadem, and the business of punishing the traitors kings of War of the Red Diamond drained much of his remaining strength. Legend accuses Magnus's son and heir Pelagius III of patricide, but that seems highly unlikely, for no other reason than that Pelagius was the king of Solitude following the death of Potema, and seldom visited the imperial city. Pelagius III, sometimes called Pelagius the Mad, was proclaimed the emperor in the 145th year of the Third Era. Almost from the start, his eccentricities of behavior were noted at court. He embarrassed dignitaries, offended his vassal kings, and on no one occasion marked the end of the imperial grand ball by attempting to hang himself. His long-suffering wife was finally awarded the regency of Tamriel, and Pelagius III was sent to a series of healing institutions and asylums until his death in 153 at the age of 34. The Empress Regent of Tamriel was proclaimed Empress Kataria I upon the death of her husband. Some who do not mark the end of the Septim bloodline with the death of Kintira II consider the ascendancy of this dark elf woman the true mark of its decline. Her defenders, on the other hand, assert that though Kataria was not descendant from Tiber, the son she had with Pelagius was, so the imperial chain did continue. Despite racist assertions to the contrary, Kataria's 46-year reign was one of the most celebrated in the Tamriel's history. Uncomfortable in the imperial palace, Khajiit traveled extensively throughout the empire, such as no emperor ever did since Tiber Day. She repaired much of the damage that previous emperors' broken alliances and bungled diplomacy created. The people of Tamriel came to love the empress far more than the nobility did. Khajiit's death in a minor skirmish in a black marsh is a favorite subject of conspiracy-minded historians. The sage Montalius's discovery, for instance, of a disenfranchised branch of the Septims family and their involvement with the skirmish was a revelation indeed. When Cassinda's assumed the throne upon the death of his mother, he was already middle-aged. Only half-elven, he aged like a Breton. In fact, he had left the rule of Wayrest to his half-brother, Uriel, due to poor health. Nevertheless, as the only true-blood relation of Pelagius and thus Tiber, he was pressed into accepting the throne. To no one's surprise, the Emperor Cassinda's reign did not last long. In 2 years he joined his predecessors in eternal slumber. Uriel Lariat, Cassinda's half-brother and the child of Kataria I, and her imperial consort Galiver Lariat, after the death of Pelagius III, left the kingdom of Wayrest to reign as Uriel IV. Legally, Uriel IV was a septim. Cassinda had adopted him into the royal family when he had become king of Wayrest. Nevertheless, the council and the people of Tamriel, he was a bastard child of Kataria. Uriel did not possess the dynamism of his mother, and his long 43-year reign was a hotbed of sedition. Uriel IV's story is told in the 3rd volume of this series. So that was the book, The Brief History of the Empire, Part 2. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed my commentary. If you did, go ahead, like, subscribe, and favorite. All these things help me immensely to promote my channel and get additional auditorium to view these videos, which I pump out for free for you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the accent. I hope it didn't suck. Quote from where was this quote? It was an awesome American movie. Nevertheless, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed my commentary. If you did, do what I told you a minute ago. Yeah, my sclerosis starts showing. Have a great day and bye bye.